If you want to experience Europe beyond the typical tourist attractions, the key is to embrace local customs, culture, and daily life. Here's a detailed breakdown of how you can travel Europe like a local in 2025. 1. Get off the beaten path. While famous cities like Paris, Rome, and Barcelona are incredible, they can also be overcrowded and expensive. Instead of sticking to major tourist hotspots, consider exploring hidden gems where locals actually live and work. How to do it? Choose alternative cities. Instead of Paris, visit Lyon or Bordeaux, known for their amazing food scenes. Instead of Rome, try Bologna, a foodie paradise, or Turin, rich history, fewer tourists. Instead of Lisbon, explore Porto, stunning architecture and wine culture. Instead of Barcelona, visit Valencia, home of authentic paella and fewer crowds. Instead of Amsterdam, try Utrecht or Haarlem for beautiful canals with fewer tourists. Explore the countryside. Take a break from cities and visit small villages, vineyards, and coastal towns where you'll find fewer tourists and more local life. Consider staying in a rural agriturismo, farm stay, in Italy or Spain for an authentic experience. Use local transport. Europe has one of the best public transportation systems in the world, and locals rarely rely on taxis or rental cars unless necessary. How to do it? Take the train. Europe's rail network is expanding in 2025 with more high-speed and night train routes. Apps like Omio and Trainline make it easy to book train and bus tickets. Countries like Switzerland, Germany, and France have amazing rail passes for unlimited travel. Use local buses and trams. Cities like Lisbon, Berlin, and Prague have great tram networks that locals use daily. Get a transport card instead of buying single tickets to save money, e.g., Oyster Card in London, Navigo in Paris, or Berlin Welcome Card. Bike like a local. Many cities, such as Amsterdam, Copenhagen, and Berlin, are bike-friendly with dedicated lanes and rentals. Use bike-sharing apps like Lime, Donkey Republic, or Velob in Paris. Walk as much as possible. European cities are incredibly walkable, so skip taxis and Ubers whenever possible. Walking helps you discover hidden cafes, boutiques, and street art that you'd otherwise miss. Stay in local accommodations. Forget big hotel chains. Staying in a locally owned accommodation will give you a more authentic experience and a chance to interact with locals. How to do it? Guest houses and boutique hotels. Look for small, locally owned hotels rather than international chains. Check Booking.com or Agoda for well-rated boutique stays. Short-term rentals, but choose wisely. Platforms like Airbnb and VRBO offer rentals, but in major cities, short-term rentals contribute to housing problems. Stay in residential areas, not just the city center, to get a more local experience. House sitting and home exchanges. Websites like Trusted House Sitters allow you to stay in someone's home for free in exchange for pet sitting. Home exchange lets you swap homes with locals. Farm stays and rural stays. In Italy, Spain, and France, you can stay in agriturismos, farm stays, where you'll experience local food and culture firsthand. Learn basic local phrases. Even though English is widely spoken, making an effort to speak the local language can enhance your experience and earn you respect. How to do it? Learn the basics like hello, bonjour, French, ciao, Italian, hola, Spanish, hello, German, thank you, merci, grazie, gracias, danke, excuse me, excuses, ma scusi, pardon, entschuldigung. Do you speak English? Parlez-vous anglais? Parlez inglese? Habla Ingles? Sprechen Sie English? Use translation apps. Google Translate now has real-time speech and camera translation, making it easier to communicate. Duolingo and Babbel are great for learning on the go. Shop at markets and eat where locals eat. Food is a huge part of local culture, and the best way to experience it is to avoid touristy restaurants and eat like a local. How to do it? Go to local markets. Buy fresh produce, cheese, and meats from markets instead of supermarkets. Some of the best markets include La Boqueria, Barcelona, Borough Market, London, and Marché Bastille, Paris. Avoid restaurants with tourist menus. If a restaurant has English-only menus or food photos, it's probably a tourist trap. Instead, look for places where locals are eating, even if there's a wait. Try the local specialties. Italy. Eat where locals go for real pizza in Naples or fresh pasta in Bologna. Spain. Try tapas in Seville or pinxos in San Sebastian. France. Opt for bistros instead of fancy restaurants for the best authentic meals. Adapt to local customs and culture. Europe has diverse cultural norms, so respecting them will help you fit in. How to do it? Follow mealtime traditions. In Spain and Italy, dinner is usually after 8 to 9 p.m., while in Northern Europe, it's earlier. Some restaurants in smaller towns close between lunch and dinner, so plan accordingly. Dress appropriately. Europeans tend to dress more stylishly than tourists. Avoid wearing gym clothes outside the gym. If visiting churches, wear modest clothing, cover shoulders and knees. Understand tipping etiquette. Unlike the US, tipping is not always expected. In France and Italy, just rounding up or leaving small change is fine. Use local apps and resources. Technology can help you travel smarter and more like a local. Best apps for traveling like a local. City Mapper, public transit in big cities. Too Good to Go, cheap leftover food from local restaurants. Omio or Trainline, for train/bus bookings. Meetup and couch surfing events to meet locals. Travel slow and be spontaneous. Instead of rushing through multiple cities, slow travel allows you to absorb the local lifestyle. How to do it? Spend at least a few days in each city instead of cramming multiple destinations into one trip. Be open to local recommendations. Talk to baristas, shop owners, and cab drivers for the best hidden spots. Allow for flexibility. Sometimes the best experiences come from unexpected adventures. Final thoughts. Traveling like a local in Europe is all about immersing yourself in the culture, avoiding tourist traps, and embracing spontaneity. If you're heading to Lisbon soon, I can give you some local tips specific to your trip.